Hey guys, welcome back to the Knitting Expat Podcast channel. My name is Mina and I'll be your host today. We are back and we are starting a new series today. We are starting a series called Finishing Fridays. So I posted about this on my Instagram and I thought it'd be fun to do a sort of like a chatty finishing video, essentially, as it were, on and I'll post them on Fridays. They won't necessarily be every week, but as often as I can. I have a stack, and by stack I mean this giant bag full of stuff that either needs to be finished, needs ends woven in, buttons sewn on, stuff like that, seaming, or they need to be things that need to be repaired, things that developed holes in them, seams have come undone, whatever. I have a couple of pairs of socks that need holes to be darned. I have a jumper I have a couple of jumpers actually that have holes in them, or a bind off has come loose or something like that. And I have a couple of blankets that need to be repaired and a couple of blankets that need to be seamed. So there's all sorts. There's actually another bag here. This is a new blanket project that I've started that has a bunch of seaming that needs to be done. I've actually already started that one. And then I have another blanket that was actually knit for me by you guys. Oh well, I say you guys, some of you guys. Back when I was pregnant with Layla, or just after she was born, a fellow knitter from the community sort of gathered little squares from everybody and put them all together into a blanket for Layla. And the kids have been loving playing with it, and as such it has had a bit of wear and tear, and a couple of the seams where the blocks have been sewn together or stitched together have started to come undone and unravelled, and so I need to repair that. And yeah, so I thought, I've been procrastinating and putting off doing this for a long time now, and the pile just keeps getting bigger. So I thought, finishing Fridays, why not? And I figured if I make this a series, that will encourage me to sit down and actually do the finishing and the fixing. And then maybe this will give you guys an opportunity to sit down and do some finishing as well, when you have someone to finish your projects along with and not do it on your own, as it were. So that's the idea. Feel free to leave any questions, comments, whatever, in the comment section below, because then that will give me something to talk about in the next video. Otherwise, I think I'm just gonna do some general chit chat whilst we do some finishing. I've also got a coffee in my speckle hand painted mug. I painted it myself, went to one of those pottery painting places a few months ago, and painted its flowers on the inside, and it's all speckled on the outside, which I really love. And I love the size, it's great. It's basically the size of my head, and that's the perfect amount of coffee. Okay, so first things first, I'll just show you this Hexi blanket that I've started working on. This is what I posted about on Instagram, where I shared about this Finishing Fridays idea that I had. So there's actually 12 colours in this blanket. I have seamed the first 5 colours together, but I only have 5 in each row at the moment, and so the rows aren't actually wide enough. Even after I add on like an edging and stuff, once it's all put together, it's still not going to be wide enough. So I'm actually going to make it 7 hexes wide, I think. I'm going to do 7 first, see how wide that looks, and if I need to, then I can do an 8th one as well. But yeah, I had a bunch of the cotton yarn left over from when I did Layla's bedroom, and a lot of the decoration, her room is rainbow themed, so I had a bunch of cotton rainbow coloured yarn, and I got a few others from local big box. Also here we have Hobbycraft, which I guess is similar to like a Joann's or like a Hobby Lobby type, Michael's type of place that you guys have in the US. We have Hobbycraft, and so they have a bunch of cotton yarns. The one that I got is a cotton acrylic blend that's actually really soft and it's really nice to work with. And I've been crocheting these hexes, which has been really fun, and they whip up super fast. Each hexie takes me about 10 minutes, 15 if I'm dawdling. But yeah, so I've done 60 hexes so far, so 5 in each of the 12 colours. And yeah, I've started seaming those. I'm not going to do this right now, but I just wanted to show you what I was working on, and that's what gave me the idea for this Finishing Friday. So I'm just going to run through some other bits that I need to finish. So I've got these washcloths that I've made, dishcloths, washcloths, that I've made as well, which need finishing. I mean, ends weaving in essentially is what that needs. I do want to get more of the white to do a border on the yellow one and kind of make more of a set, because I think that would be nice as like a Christmas present or just a present. I have a pair of socks that need ends weaving in. It'll be good for me to figure out actually what is in this bag. This blanket, which if you'll remember I crocheted for Nova when I was pregnant, and as you can see some of the seams have come a little bit undone over the last couple of years as it's been heavily used in our living room. I've actually put it away for a few months just because it was getting really roughed up. So some of the ends have just come undone. So it's just needs a bit of love and care to put this back together. I'm not super precious about these sorts of things. I think scrappy blankets are what they are. But I just want to fix some of these holes and make this blanket usable again and reinforce some of the seams. Like I said, it's been sitting on the back of our two-seater sofa in our living room, and the kids just play in the living room, and so it does get like squished around and used. Then I have, I think I probably talked about this on the podcast at some point, but I'm now at a point where I'm probably ready to start seaming this other crochet scrappy blanket that I started. So I started doing this crochet corner to corner scrappy blanket with my leftovers and doing them in these large-ish blocks. I don't know what size they are. They're like 10 by 10 or 12 by 12 inches. These large-ish blocks, and I've got 24 now, so I could do a 6 by 4 block blanket, I mean of the squares. So I think I'm going to stitch those together, see how big it is, and if it needs to get, if I need it to be bigger, I can do more because I've got plenty of scraps, that's for sure. And yeah, so that's a seaming and end weaving project because they all still have their ends. I've kind of done weaving in the ends in between, and so I only have the end at the beginning and end of each block to finish off. So that's that one. I have a bunch of these blocks, so my pinwheel scrap blanket blocks. I have a bunch of these that have ends that still need to be woven in. There's a bunch I've already done and I've woven in, and I can't for the life of me remember where I put them. So I have to find the rest of them and see how many blocks I have so far to figure out how many more I need to knit, because this is going to be a blanket for Nova. Again, if you remember a couple of years ago I finished one for Layla for her 5th birthday, so my plan is to have this one finished for Nova's 5th birthday, which means I still have a little under 3 years left because Nova's just over 2 now. So I have a couple more years to finish this blanket off, which is fine. I do have a fairly sizable stack of blocks already. Like I said, this is all that's left that I need to weave the ends in on. And then we'll think we're coming to, oh wait, no, I have this one that needs, does this one even need anything? Oh, this just needs to be blocked, not for that pile. Oh, I have this cardigan, which was going to be a design, but I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do about it at the moment. But it does need ends woven in, and it does need buttons to be put on, so that needs finishing at least. So there's that. This was actually the first iteration of that cardigan. It was going to be some sort of poncho type, and this was going to be the kid size one, which was supposed to be for Layla and is now probably going to be for Nova because it's taken me that long. I just want to seam up the edges so it can be worn. It does have buttonholes, so I could put buttons on it, but I'm not sure I have the right size buttons for this one. Anyway, so this just needs something being done to it. I have 2 pairs of socks in here that have a couple of holes in them. This is a hand spun sock that's developed a little hole in the bottom of the foot, and the other one has a hole just in the bottom of the heel. I think I caught this on something, if I remember correctly. And then I have this rainbow sock which has randomly developed a hole in the middle on the side of the foot, like above the ankle, so it's a really odd place for a hole. And then the other one I think is actually okay, but I just wanted to keep the pair together. And I have this jumper. Oh, I found one more block to go. And this jumper that I knit years ago now, I wore a lot when I was pregnant with Layla, has a little hole in the bottom here. And I think there was another hole somewhere on this one. Or was that it? Oh, yeah, there seems to be, I must have had like a thin thread, because a thin piece of yarn here, because there's another little tiny hole forming right there. So this needs a little repair. This one's going to be a bit trickier because I don't have any of this yarn left over. I don't have any of this yarn left in my scraps, and unfortunately the hole is right in the middle at the front here. So I'm gonna have to think about how I'm gonna fix that. If anyone has any ideas, I'm thinking about maybe doing some embroidery on the jumper to kind of cover it and add some detail or something. I'm not sure. The bit at the bottom here is probably a little bit easier because the ends are a little bit, some yarn poking out. So there's something I could probably do to hide that. But I'm not entirely sure about this hole in the middle of the jumper. I can't even remember what yarn I used for this. It was so long ago that I knit this. I'm pretty sure we were still living in Bahrain when I knit this jumper. So a long time ago. So yeah, that's that one. So this one unfortunately is going to go into the bottom of the pile for now until I can figure out what I'm going to do with it. I think I'm going to start with some of the easier things today. I'm going to do a bunch of end weaving in, might try repairing the socks. I've got a little mushroom, darning mushroom to use. This is, I picked this up secondhand from somewhere, it might have been a car boot sale or something, I'm not sure, but it's been very well used, as you can see. So I'm going to use this for the socks. So I might just do a few ends weaving in and socks for today, and leave some of the other stuff for another week, another episode of Finishing Friday. So yeah, that's the plan, I think. Okay, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to readjust the camera so you've got more of an overhead shot over my lap, and then I'll either leave it in real time, just kind of ASMR, or I might speed it up and put it to music. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what the footage looks like and what I end up deciding to do. I'm not going to seam this blanket together yet because I want to lay it all out and kind of decide where the blocks are going to go. So I'll have to do that at some point. And the other blanket that needs repairing, that's just be a whole video on its own, is fixing that blanket. So these two are going to be separate videos, I think, in the future. Right now, and I don't know where the buttons are for that cardigan that I need to do. I do know where I do have them, I just can't remember where I put them. I just have to find them. So that'll be in, do the jumpers another time. Then we're going to focus on weaving in ends, fixing socks, and we'll see how far we get. If I don't finish everything today, no biggie, we'll do it in the next one. That's why this is a series. And I've already been chatting for about 13 minutes, so we'll see how much longer this video will be. I don't want these videos to be much longer than 30 minutes. It's meant to be just like small little snippets of time that you can sit down, do some weaving in ends, do some seaming, and so slowly and surely make progress on that pile of stuff you need to finish. All right, I'll see you back in a second. Okay, I think we're going to leave it there for today. That took a lot longer than I was expecting. So I've repaired my 2 pairs of socks. So I had 3 holes that I've darned in some fashion. I am not a master darner, as you could probably tell. They're not perfect, they're not beautiful, but they are functional, and that's really all that matters. I just want to be able to wear my socks again, and I don't really care if they look beautiful or not. I mean, the darning, I don't care if that looks beautiful or not. I have another pair of socks I've woven the ends on, and these 3 dishcloths that I've woven the ends on as well. So that's not too bad. That's 4 projects that needed ends weaving in and 2 that needed fixing. So yeah, I'm going to call that a win for day 1, and I guess I will see you guys in the next episode of Finishing Friday. Alright, take care, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye!